Are we live? It looks like we are live. Look at that. Looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel. I hope everyone had an incredible day. It is Wednesday. You know what that means. AEW Dynamite was tonight. You guys know the drill. We're going to review the show. And without further ado, let's get this show underway. And by the way, this was a really, really good show. Really good show. But before before we get to the review, before we get to the video, some unexpected news happened this morning. Paul White, formerly known as The Big Show, is All Elite. Even I was shocked. Okay, the wrestling universe was shocked. Okay, nobody saw this coming, not even me. But it's official. The Big Show is All Elite with All Elite Wrestling. So he signed a multi-year deal with All Elite Wrestling, and apparently he is going to be a commentator for a new show for AEW called AEW Dark Elevation, which will be starting on March 15th. And a matter of fact, Paul White would be here next week to address the AEW fans. But yeah, that was some unexpected news. Definitely unexpected, especially for me, because Big Show is the last man I would expect to sign to AEW. So definitely was a shocker right there. So other than that news, let's talk about this show. Let's talk about this show. So we start off the show with Jon Moxley being in action against Dolph Ziggler 2.0 Ryan Nemeth. And it was a good match for what it was, nothing too crazy. It was a squash match, basically. Moxley picks up the victory over Ryan Nemeth. But after that, Jon Moxley cuts this amazing promo, as always, because Moxley is an amazing promo cutter. And I really like how he talked about this exploding barbed wire death match. Like he really explained this matchup like this matchup was going to be his last match. Like Moxley was saying that oh, this is probably going to be my last match. So to everyone in the AEW locker room, everyone in the AEW fans, if this ends up being my last match, thank you so much for supporting me, and it would be one hell of a way to go out. Like Moxley really, really sell this matchup to be dangerous as hell, which really, really made me like this segment, like this promo a lot more. Props to Moxley and props to AEW to making this exploding barbed wire death match way more dangerous than it already is. So definitely awesome. Awesome promo by Moxley. Nothing too crazy there. Moxley, amazing promo. Amazing promo. So after that, it was announced by AEW that Ray Felix and Lance Archer will face each other in the main event, and the winner will be in the Face of the Revolution ladder match at AEW Revolution, which, by the way, so far has Cody Rhodes, Pentagon Jr., and Scorpio Sky. The winner between Archer and Felix in the main event will join those three men in that ladder match at AEW Revolution. So other than that, we got some tag team action as Team Taz members Brian Cage and Absolute Ricky Stocks went against 2-on-2 against Gift Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr., the Bar City Blondes. And my God, this was a great match. This was such an incredible matchup between all four men. These four men absolutely killed it. And the Varsity Blondes are impressing me more and more and more. Like every single week I'm seeing them, like, oh my god, they have been getting more and more impressive. And like before I wasn't into the Varsity Blondes, and I feel like AEW should have gave Brian Pillman Jr. a singles run instead of being in a tag team with Giff Garrison of all people. But like they are definitely proving me wrong because both Giff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. are doing a great job as a tag team. And like every week that the Varsity Blondes compete, they are impressing the wrestling community more and more and more, which I extremely love. And Giff Garrison is definitely proving me wrong. He can definitely hold his own in the ring. So yeah, like this was an incredible matchup. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks picks up the victory over the Varsity Blondes when Brian Cage hit the drill claw on Brian Pillman Jr. But I thought this was an incredible matchup. And the Varsity Blondes, yeah, they are getting way more impressive. And this could be the Varsity Blondes' year. Of course, that's like a far stretch opinion, but like I feel like the Varsity Blondes can really go far in the AEW tag team division, especially this year, because they are slowly impressing more and more people in the internet wrestling community, which is amazing. So after that, they Darby, I mean, oh my god, I can't even speak tonight. So Ricky Starks and Brian Cage looks at the Titantron and it shows a vignette of a car being driven with the body bag that we assume Darby Allin is in. Sting is, of course, they show Sting driving that truck, and Darby Allin ended up being okay. After that, Sting comes out with the body bag, and we all assumed that Darby Allin was in that body bag. But no, it was actually Taz's son, Hook, that was in that body bag. So Sting gets ready to attack both Starks and Cage, and Darby and Sting points at the top of the stadium where Darby Allin literally did a Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 12 entrance where he like zip lined all the way down to the ring, which I thought was awesome. And literally came down from the Raptors and took out Brian Cage and Ricky Starks with the skateboard. And Sting came for assistance. I thought this was an amazing segment. Amazing, amazing segment. Sting and Darby Sting got a little more physical, and Sting looked incredible. Keep in mind, Sting is 61 years old, and he still moves like he is in his prime. Like he did the Stinger splash like it was nothing. He hit the Scorpion Death Drop like no problem. So I thought this was an incredible segment. Incredible, incredible, incredible. Stings looks amazing and an amazing segment. Like, I don't know what else to say. And I'm sure that they got a segment. I'm sure they already put up the segment on the AEW YouTube channel. You guys need to go check it out if you guys have not seen AEW Dynamite tonight. I thought this was an awesome segment. Very, very awesome. So after that, Miro and Kip Sabian gets interviewed by Alex Marvez, and during that interview, they got a note from a AEW producer from the Best Friends, and they, of course, Chucky T, Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy challenged Miro and Kip Sabian to a matchup at AEW Revolution. So obviously that matchup ended up being confirmed, and we are going to see that matchup at AEW Revolution. I just want this rivalry to be over. This rivalry has stretched out for way too long. This rivalry needs to end, and hopefully Revolution is the end of this rivalry, because this rivalry has overstayed its welcome 100%. So hopefully this rivalry ends at Revolution. So after that, Jake Hager was in action against Brandon Cutler. It was good for what it was, nothing too crazy. Jake Hager picks up the victory over Brandon Cutler. But then after the match, Santana, Ortiz, and Wardlow of the Inner Circle came out to the ring and attacked Brandon Cutler. Of course, the Young Bucks came out and tried to save their friend Brandon Cutler, but it turned out it ended up being a trap because while the Young Bucks was trying to save Brandon Cutler, Chris Jericho and MJF actually brutally attacked the Young Bucks' dad backstage. Like the Young Bucks' dad was a bloody mess. Of course, the Young Bucks came to the back, tried to help his father, but at that point it was already too late. Nick Jackson was trying to comfort his father. Matt Jackson, pissed off at all, trying to get Jericho and MJF, but they drive away in like a little in an SUV, and nothing too crazy there. Jericho and MJF making their statement, attacking the Young Bucks' father. Like they're definitely going on a personal route with this robbery, which I thought was cool. I thought this was another great segment, from AEW. Like Jericho and MJF making this more personal, attacking the Young Bucks' father in a bloody heap. Like it really gives the Revolution match between Jericho and MJF and the Young Bucks more importance and more heat, because I'm not gonna lie, going into AEW Revolution, I thought this matchup was happening just to happen. Like there wasn't any personal vendetta, like just none of that. But like this segment alone really made this matchup more personal and gave it even more of a reason to happen at AEW Revolution. So I thought this was an incredible segment by AEW. Very well done. So after that, they played this hype video of Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jade that is happening next week. Obviously, I do not care about this rivalry, and hopefully this ends up being a one-time thing next week. And hopefully they don't continue the rivalry from there, because this rivalry has been atrocious. Okay, and hopefully it ends next week. Hopefully. So after that, Hangman Adam Page was in action against Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party. Of course, he was accompanied by Matt Hardy, and interestingly enough, the Hybrid 2. Apparently, the Hybrid 2, it's on Matt Hardy's payroll. Matt Hardy's paying the Hybrid 2 the big bucks. But like we get to the match, I thought this was a really great matchup between Adam Page and Isaiah Cassidy. Of course, the Dark Order came out trying to support Hangman Adam Page, of course, and then Adam Page picks up the victory over Isaiah Cassidy, which I thought was a great match. Another great matchup between two amazing performers. So after that, Hangman Adam Page and John Silver and Alex Reynolds are celebrating and stuff like that. But then Matt Hardy said that until from now to Revolution, he was going to make Adam Page's and the Dark Order's lives a living hell by targeting members of the Dark Order. And of course, in the stage, Matt Hardy throws a beat of Alan Angel's 5 and threw him through the table, through the announce table. Well, not the announce table, but the timekeeper's table, taking down 5 Alan Angels. So it looks like Matt Hardy and his entourage is looking to take down members of the Dark Order one by one from now to Revolution. So, again, nothing too crazy. But next up, we got a small interview from Kenny Omega, and he's in the workshop, and I really like how AEW is playing this out. Like Kenny Omega is obsessed with ending John Moxley. And like I'm already excited for this matchup at AEW Revolution. But I really like that Kenny Omega is like not backing down, but it's actually being more active and trying to do whatever it takes to take down John Moxley once and for all. So I thought this was a really good small interview from AEW and Kenny Omega. So after that, we got our second to last matchup of the night as we had a semifinal matchup of the Women's Eliminator Tournament as Britt Baker, DMD, went one-on-one against Nyla Rose. And I thought these ladies killed it. These ladies put up an amazing match. And I'm not just saying that to just say that. Like, these ladies put up an incredible match. But the wrong woman won. Nyla Rose actually picks up the victory over Britt Baker. And honestly, I kind of wasn't a fan of that because I thought Britt Baker was going to win the entire tournament, facing Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship at AEW Revolution, and that Britt Baker becomes the new AEW Women's Champion. Because I feel like Britt Baker holding the title, like Britt Baker is literally one of the best acts in the AEW women's division right now, other than Thunder Rosa. So, like, and I feel like her hard work should be rewarded. And I feel like the wrong woman won. Okay? Because I thought Britt Baker was going to win, and Britt Baker honestly shouldn't have won. So, since Britt Baker's eliminated, like, here's what I think they're doing. So, if Britt Baker's not winning this, I think Thunder Rosa is going to win the entire thing. Goes to AEW Revolution. Thunder Rosa actually beats Hikaru Shida to be the AEW Women's Champion. But keep in mind, Britt Baker has a victory over Thunder Rosa as Britt Baker defeated Thunder Rosa at Beach Break. So it makes sense. So if they're doing what I think they're doing, and I hope AEW plays their cards right, Thunder Rosa wins the entire tournament. And we had the rematch as Hikaru Shida faced Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship at AEW Revolution. Thunder Rosa wins to become the new AEW Women's Champion. And then, of course, set up the rivalry between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship. At the next AEW special, or like in another episode of AEW Dynamite, Britt Baker defeats Thunder Rosa to become the next AEW Women's Champion. Hopefully, AEW goes that route. But, like, Nyla Rose picks up the victory. Honestly, Britt Baker should have won. But as long as they play their cards right, and as I really hope they give Thunder Rosa the victory in this tournament. And I hope, like, literally everything that I just said, I really hope that happens. But that's just me. That's just me talking. But other than that, I thought this was a really great matchup between both of these ladies. Both ladies definitely killed it 100%. So after that, we got a little hype video between FTR and Jurassic Express because next week we are going to have ourselves a little 6-man tag team action as FTR and Tully Blanchard teams up against the entirety of Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt. Personally, like, we shouldn't have FTR versus Jurassic Express at AEW Revolution. Like, I'm so excited for the 6-man tag team matchup next week, but I feel like they should have had this matchup at Revolution. Just FTR and Jurassic Express. But at this point, the damage has already been done, so yeah. That's all I gotta say on that. But then, other than that, nothing too crazy there. But now we get to our main event of the evening. Ray Felix versus Lance Archer. The winner gets added to the Face of the Revolution ladder match at AEW Revolution, joining Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, and Pentagon Jr. or Penta El Cielo Miedo. But I thought this was I thought this was a very good match. Like it wasn't match of the year caliber, and there was like points of the matchup where I thought it was a little bit slow. Like it wasn't botchy. Botchy wasn't the word, but I feel like parts of the matchup was a little bit weird, and there's like a few parts of the matchup that I didn't like. But I didn't think this was a bad match at all. I thought this was a really good main event between Lance Archer and Ray Felix. And Ray Felix definitely held his own against Lance Archer. This was a great David versus Goliath match. Incredible matchup between both Lance Archer and Ray Felix. But Lance Archer actually picks up the victory over Ray Felix, which means that he's going to join Rhodes, Sky, and Pentagon Jr. in the ladder match at AEW Revolution. So far, we got Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Pentagon Jr., and Lance Archer in this ladder match at AEW Revolution. We got 2 slots left. Of course, one of the slots will be taken next week by either 10 of the Dark Order or Max Caster, I think his name is, of the Acclaimed, as those 2 men fight in the qualifying matchup. And the last spot will be revealed at the pay-per-view. So definitely keep an eye on that. But other than that, I thought this was a great show. Like the other shows, like I won't say AEW has been like bad for the last couple of weeks, but it has been just a little bit weak and a little bit I don't want to say lackluster, but just a little bit weak. This show, however, definitely stepped it up. Okay, and like I thought this was a great show. Great show 100%. 100%. AEW definitely did a great job producing this show. But that's all I got to say. I thought this was a great show. I want to know what you guys think in the comments section. Did you guys like tonight's show? Did you guys not like tonight's show? Was there a specific thing you like? Was there a specific thing you hate? I want to know what you guys think in the comments section. But if you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, and my only rule in this channel is to not be an asshole in the comment section. Just don't be assholes in the comment section. If you guys have an opinion you want to say it. Say it. Okay? But don't be afraid to say your opinion. I don't want people in the comment section to be assholes. Okay? That's just my only rule in this channel. But if you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like. And if you like the content that I make sure you subscribe and ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. But thank you so much for watching my AEW review. And until next time, this is Gabriel. Now I'll see you next time in the Asylum. Good night, everyone.